Hello everyone and welcome to this short video of mine. Tonight I've got a couple of points that I would like to share with you all. This in regards to what's going on in West Papua. I thought it would be very important for me just to update and let you all know about what's happening right now in West Papua. There are a couple of points that I would like to address, and one of them is the ongoing armed conflict in West Papua, and the other one is the update on the recent bombing of a village in Nduga in West Papua, and also the in regards to Papuan students studying in other parts of Indonesia, and also, and it's a couple of the points that I would like to raise tonight, but today, but I'm just gonna give you the main ones that I thought would be very important. That's a couple of them on the list that I would share with you, and just update you guys on what's happening in West Papua. Anyway, the first one, which is the current armed conflict in West Papua, which is currently going on right now within West Papua in different locations. The conflict between TPNPB and TNI Polri, the Indonesian military and police, and TPNPB OPM that represent the nation of West Papua. And recently we had military raids and operations in Tinggi Nambut in Puncak Jaya, and the other one was in Lani Jaya. So they're actually going after the members of TPNPB, and as a result, it also involved the civilians that live in those remote villages in the highlands of West Papua. From Tinggi Nambut, we heard that 10 people got killed. Among them include a child. And over in Lani Jaya, they actually raided those villages, and they actually destroyed the properties and livestock that belongs to the people in the villages. They also beat anyone that they come across. And the other thing that I don't I condemn the actions of Indonesian military was they forced the school children to sing Indonesian national anthem, and if they sing the song wrongly, they started beating them up. So that actually happened in Nduga, not Nduga, in Lani Jaya. So that was the report that we got from our friends in Lani Jaya. Excuse me. Anyway, with the ongoing military operations and raids that is going on right now in the highlands of West Papua, it has actually created humanitarian crisis where the civilians have actually fled the village, and they've gone hiding into the forest. So the immediate our concern now is especially the welfare and the well-being of these women and children who have gone hiding, and how they can have access to food, clean water, and healthcare. So these are the priorities that we hope that the local authorities over there will look into this issue. And the other one is about what most of you would have heard about our report back in June, when Indonesian military did an airstrike in a village in Nduga, and they actually bombed the village and flattened the village completely to the ground. So as a result, 8 people got killed. So most of the people that live in those villages, they fled into the forest as well. And these are the examples of these military raids and operations that are going on in West Papua. So the conflict, the armed conflict between the Indonesian military and TPNPB opium that represent West Papuan people. So the area is still tense, although some of the people that live there are still scared to move around and do whatever that they normally do. And during that period when during the time when they bombed the village, most of the people, some of the people that live there, they fled to Tinginambut, to Puncak Jaya. So when the Indonesian military did a operations and carried out a surprise attack in that remote village in Tinginambut in Puncak Jaya, those civilians that fled the conflict in Nduga also affected as well. They become the victims, so they also fled into the jungle together with the rest of the people that in the villages. So this is where we feel that the international community, especially the governments of the Pacific and UN, need to pay a close attention to the current armed conflict that is going on in West Papua between Indonesian military, police, and the West Papua National Liberation Army, or TPNPB. So these conflicts have actually created a serious and ongoing humanitarian crisis in West Papua, and some of these villages are actually in the remote areas of West Papua, so it's very hard for for media to access those areas because you have the presence of Indonesian military police there. So they kind of like restrict foreign media, not foreign media, local media, to go to the area and report on what's happening over there. So this is basically update on what happened in Nduga, and they promised us that there's going to be people from Komnas HAM Indonesia, that they will go and investigate the incident happened in Nduga. But up until now, we haven't received any update on their investigation. So we really need to question Indonesian government on their genuineness in trying to get people on the ground to investigate what happened in Nduga, because we feel that as far as the West Papuan people are concerned, we want that there should be an independent investigation on the incident that happened in Nduga, because Indonesian military actually bombed that particular village. And when they did that, when they bombed the village, they kept on denying it, that they never carried out any airstrike until our own people that went and they gathered the report from the eyewitness, the civilians that were there. They confirmed that they carried out the airstrike and they bombed that particular village. So village is completely flattened, and there were people that got killed as well. So, and then a week or 2 weeks later, the Indonesian military confirmed that they did carry out an attack, but they coming up with all these excuses that to cover up their mistakes. So, yeah, it's just basically we need to pay close attention on that the ongoing Indonesian military raids and operations in the remote areas of West Papua. Also, the other issue of concern that I would like to raise also, yesterday I saw that a post on Facebook about a Papuan that got killed or ran over by a car in Jayapura, I think, by an unknown person. So we have this ongoing problem, not only in the city of Jayapura but everywhere in West Papua, that Papuans are being attacked by Indonesian intelligence, and we've warned our people back home in West Papua to be very wary and mindful of the surroundings, especially if you're walking on the side of the road. You have to be very careful because you can be hit by a car by an unknown person. So in West Papua we call it OTK or OTK, or orang we call it orang Tidak Kenal, or it's an unknown person, the person you don't know that actually did that, that carried out that attack. So it is an ongoing problem in West Papua, and it's happening on daily basis, where Papuans have to be very careful when they're out and about, especially if they're walking on the side of the road. They have to be very careful because they can be run over by a car, and it's very stressful when you see people being hit by a car and left to die on the side of the road. And when you see these photos being posted on social media, it's very sad, how these things are happening, and then the perpetrators of these crimes manage to get away. So these are part of the system or tactic being played by Indonesian government to eliminate Papuans. So this is part of their plan to intimidate us and arrest us, so that our people won't have this desire to fight for the freedom. So we would like to remind our people back home, especially, to be very mindful of surroundings or where you are. If you're out and about in the city, just be very careful. Make sure to walk in a group, so at least 2 or 3 persons that accompanies you, rather than walking by yourself, because you just don't know what's going to happen next. So it's just a reminder to all our people back home. And there is another issue that I thought would be very important for us to know, also for the public to know, that Indonesian government at the moment, they're planning to create another province in West Papua, and this is against the wishes of our people, because West Papua is already a province of Indonesia. You cannot go and create another 2-3 provinces again. So this is another tactic being used by Indonesian government to confuse the international community about the conflict in West Papua. So what happened was, back in 2000, when they introduced that special autonomy in West Papua, they also created another province. So in West Papua right now we have the province of West Papua, and then the province of West Papua was created recently, but the first one is Papua, when they changed the name of the original name from Irian Jaya to Papua. And then after that, when they introduced special autonomy, they created another province called West Papua. And now there is the information that we've received. They're trying to create another new third province again. So a lot of people, especially in the government, even the government of Lucas Anambe, the current governor of West Papua, I think they do not agree with the Indonesian government trying to create another province in West Papua. The reason why the people of West Papua do not want another province to be created, because it confuses the international community on the genuine struggle of the West Papuan people. And also, when Indonesian government, when they go to UN and, and start, when people ask them about the issue West Papua, they try to come out with all these names about this province, these different provinces in West Papua, and confuse the people about the struggle of West Papuan people. So they try to say, oh, the province of West Papua or the province of Papua, And in fact, this is just one island in, and it's called West Papua. Politically, we call it West Papua. But in Indonesia, they try to create all this confusion by saying that, oh, this is the province of Papua, this is the province of Papua, So at the moment we have the province of Papua, which is the original one, and then they just recently, a few years ago, they created another one, which is province of West Papua. And now we've had that they wanted to create another third province. So the people of West Papua do not like that idea, because there are a couple of reasons why we do not like the idea with the current experience that we're going through right now. Is that when you create another new province, you have this influx of migrants coming in from all over Indonesia, coming in to take up jobs that are mainly reserved for West Papuans. So, when you have these new regencies or new provinces being created, if you look at look at the population, West Papuan people, our population is less than 3 million. It's not more than 4 million. It's less than 3 million. So, and a lot of people, although there are a lot of skilled people out there in West Papua, the problem is that when you create these new provinces, you are likely to get a lot of people that apply, that are coming into work, will be the migrants from other parts of Indonesia, and then Papuans that are educated and they have all the skills and knowledge that they can do all these jobs are being overlooked. And you have the system where the corruption where people, when you apply to work over there, you have to pay money in order to secure a job, a position in the government. So we do not like the idea of a new province being created, and all.